who was the top 10 of 1989 in WWF and WCW? At number 10, Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes found himself in a new company this year. Came from WCW, went into the WWF, and of course found himself in some yellow polka dots. However, that did not slow this guy down. He picked up a big win against the Honky Tonk Man at SummerSlam, and then would go on to become a sole survivor at Survivor Series. So there you have it. And this is actually his third year in a row cracking the top 10. He was also number 10 last year. So at number 9, Michael Hayes. He made his big return this year to WCW, picked up the U.S. title. He would reform the Freebirds with Terry Gordy, and then he would win the World Tag titles as well. Not bad. Not a bad year for Michael Hayes. At number 8, Sid Vicious. Dude, he exploded onto the scene this year. Teamed up with Dan Spivey, they formed the Skyscrapers. They went ahead to win a 2-ring King of the Hill Battle Royal, splitting the money at the end of the thing. They would go on to squash the Dynamic Dudes, and they even began a power versus power feud with the Road Warriors. At number 7, Rick Steiner. The first half of the year, he was feuding with the Varsity Club. He used to be a former member. However, he turned against him, or they turned against him, and they battled. Him and Mike Rotunda traded the TV title back and forth, but his battle continued. He would team up with Eddie Gilbert to battle them at Wrestle War, and then his younger brother Scott would show up, and they would team up to take on the Varsity Club in a Texas Tornado tag match. That was just brutal. And then, him and Scott would continue to team up for the rest of the year and even place second in the Starrcade Iron Tag Team Future Shock Tournament. At number 6, Ric Flair. He had a really good year this year. Great series of matches against Ricky Steamboat where they traded the world title back and forth. However, Terry Funk would emerge and would give him a pile driver on the table, he broke his neck and almost ended his career. However, they would go, he'd come back and they'd have a huge battle, Great American Bash. And then from there, he would team up with Sting to take on Funk and Muta in the Thunderdome cage match at Halloween Havoc. This is actually his second time in the top 10 and his first since 1987. At number 5, Sting. This was the year that Sting became a major player. He would go on to win the TV title and have a huge feud with the Great Muta. That would eventually lead to him standing side by side with his former rival Ric Flair in the Thunderdome cage match. Not only that, he would actually go on to win the Iron Man Round Robin tournament at Starrcade that year. At number 4, Lex Luger. Luger, current U.S. champion, just dominated this year. However, he had a change of attitude. He kind of reverted back to his horseman-like attitude that he had, the cocky, the arrogant, but it didn't slow him down any. This year alone, he picked up some major victories over Barry Windham, Ricky Steamboat, Brian Pillman, the Great Muta, and Sting. Great year for Luger. At number 3, Hulk Hogan. Hogan just dominated this year. I keep using that word domination, but it's so true. He defeated Macho Man at WrestleMania 5 when the Mega Powers exploded and took the world title from his former best friend, Savage. However, his feud with Savage would continue for the remainder of the year, and it would even rope in the co-star of the Hulk Hogan movie, No Holds Barred, co-actor Zeus. And so when Zeus showed up, he was jealous of all the attention Hogan was getting. He teamed up with Savage. However, Savage had another friend. He had Brutus Beefcake in his back pocket, and they would team up together to defeat Zeus and Savage at SummerSlam. And then again, at the end of the year, in a steel cage match, in the No Holds Barred movie match pay-per-view. So this is Hogan's third time in the top 10, and this is his first one since 1986. Number 2, Road Warrior Animal. The most dominant tag team of the entire year is the Road Warriors. Let's just be real. They won the tag titles. They won War Games. They won the Iron Tag Team Tournament at the Starrcade. What else can you say? Hawk was top wrestling champion for a vast majority of this year, and he wouldn't have had that if it wouldn't been for Animal. So, once again, you can only pick one, and I put Hawk over Animal, but Animal's easily number 2 for the year. Number 1, Hawk, and all you gotta do is just review what I just said for Animal. Same applies to Hawk.